Welcome back to our writing lesson today. So yesterday we watched the Brain Pop Junior video and it was on paragraphs. And we talked a little bit about the writing process. So I have that listed above our lesson today. So you can go back and review that as well. So the steps to the writing process. We are still on our plan piece. So you don't need to put this in your book. Another piece of paper is good for this, or you can write it directly on the e-tree, so you can type that in if you want to, or you can use the pencil tool. However you want to do it is fine with me. So yesterday you should have done your topic sentence. And so I gave you an example, but of course said that yours does not have to be exactly what mine is. I want you to be creative. I want you to think of your own ideas. But remember that the topic sentence is not going to tell the reasons, not telling everything about what you're writing about. It's giving your reader a little glance into what you're writing about. So it's telling them, this is what I'm writing about. And then today we are going to write 3 strong. And then if you're with me last year, remember these are the branch. Or these are the limb sentences. Sorry, the limb sentences. And this is the strong part of the sentence. It's more of a short and snappy, kind of gives a description. So my topic sentence is, the Yippery Zippery Zappery Zoo is an important invention for many reasons. So what I didn't tell you yesterday is that my invention, the Yippery Zippery Zappery Zoo, was created to solve the problem of feeding the animals at the zoo when no one's working there. So right now, my worry is that there are animals at the zoo that if people get sick, they can't go and feed them. So if they can't, the Yippery Zippery Zappery Zoo will go around and it will feed the animals if people can't do it. So I'm going to write down 3 sentences of why my invention is important. So the first one, and I'm going to say last year we talked a little bit about this too, so just to kind of refresh your memory, we need to make sure that we have transition words. So I'm going to use the transition word first. I'm going to make sure that I start my sentence with a capital because every sentence starts with a capital. So first, comma, you can use first, you can say to begin with, you could say for starters. There are lots of different transition words you could use, but I'm just going to use first for today. So the Yippery Zippery Zappery Zoo is an important invention for many reasons. First, comma, it is important because it feeds the animals. So I ran out of room here, so I'm just going to come back down here below it. It feeds the animals at the zoo when people can't. And I'm just going to put people cannot. Cannot. Now, that's the end of my thought. I'm going to put a period. That's my first reason that the Yippery Zippery Zappery Zoo is important. There's another reason it's important. So I'm going to put, this is first. I'm going to come down here to my middle line, and I'm going to say second. And notice that I tried up here, guys, too, as you go to do this. Notice that I tried to keep this as close to the line as I could. I didn't use this space right here because we still have to add our telling sentence later. So just make sure you don't do that. So I'm going to put second, comma, and I'm going to tell you this about it. It also visits animals at night so they don't get lonely. They don't get lonely. Now, I want you to know something too. Don't be afraid to not use a word because you don't know how to spell it. This part of your plan is still part of that rough draft. So I don't care what the spelling looks like. As long as you know what it says, then that's okay. Because we'll go back and fix that when we come back to the editing process. You should never be afraid to throw down a word because you don't know how to spell it. Okay, so I hope you guys think about that and remember. All right, so second, it also visits animals at night so they don't get lonely. I always reread my sentence after I've written it to make sure that it at least makes sense, right? Even though it's still my plan and my draft, I want to make sure that my thoughts are clear. These are just very straightforward. We do not use fancy words. Like, we're not going to be doing any showing sentences on these lines right here. We'll get fancy tomorrow. All right, so I have first, I have second, and then I'm going to give you my last reason. So I'm going to say last. Some people say finally. Some people say in conclusion. I'm just going to say last. Last, the Zippery, and I like to use the name too because I want you to remember the Zippery Zappery Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot a word. Yippery. So I'll just put a little arrow. If you forget a word, you can always do this too, since it's my draft. Last, the Yippery Zippery Zappery Zoo cleans the animal, come down here below it, animal cages. So the animals stay healthy. Period. It's the end of my thought. All right. So today, oops, let me put this up here so you can see it a little bit better. So today your job is to write 3 reasons why your invention is important, or whatever you had talked about in your topic sentence. These are your 3 reasons why. Do not do anything else. This is 1 sentence here, 1 sentence here, and 1 sentence here. So now you should have your topic sentence. The Yippery Zippery Zappery Zoo is an important invention for many reasons. First, it is important because it feeds the animals at the zoo when people cannot. Second, it also visits animals at night so they don't get lonely. Last, the Yippery Zippery Zappery Zoo cleans, I need to put an S at the end of that, cleans the animal cages so the animals stay healthy, period. So, you did a little bit of the body today. After you've done your 3 sentences, I want you to stop. We will continue with this tomorrow. Make sure you take a picture though. I do want to see it. I want to see your progress. So take a picture and show me where you're at. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Goodbye.